Okay, guys, welcome back to From Football to Football. Today I'm joined by one of the most recognizable names we've ever had on the show. A former Uruguay international, Copa America winner, Chelsea legend, Premier League manager, and most recently League and Cup double winner in South Korea. Gus has worked and lived across multiple football cultures around the world and has experienced football at the very highest level as both a player and a coach. Gus, it's a true pleasure to have you on the show today, mate.
Pleasure to be with you. Let's see if we can do a good chat.
Yeah, oh mate, for sure, 100%. Gus, I would like to start with your most recent experience. When I was researching for this interview, I read about your league and cup double with Jeonbuk in Korea. So looking back now on this, how special was that achievement for you?
Well, I think it was my best experience in terms of winning. Sometimes you do well, you achieve objectives. There are different objectives, different levels. But when you are able to win at the top level, because in Korea the league is very, very hard. This team that I had the chance to work, Jeonbuk, for people who doesn't know, is a massive club.
Yeah.
The club with most titles in Korea. But in 2024, it had a very, very bad season. But I mean, very bad. They play off to go down. They go safe somehow. They play against the third from the second division. They won away from home to 1-2, they say. And at home, the second leg, they were 1-1 in the 90th minute with 10 players. So a goal from the position, it would be extra time and penalties. And somehow in a break, they scored the second goal and they go safe. And then the club came to London, the club meaning CEO and sport director, to get me. It was a matter of convincing me to go there. They had a little bit of research. And the thing that impressed me the most, and that's what I took the opportunity to go, it was not about football, meaning it was not the most important part.
Yeah,
Football. Normally, when you have an interview, coach, you talk about football.
of course.
Here it was about my personality, my mentality, how I, my relation with the players, how I was able maybe to change the negativity that it was at the club from the previous year to the new year. And to be honest, the objectives they were being the top three again, so qualify for international competitions. Now, I remember leaving the meeting in London and I was saying to my staff, I'm going, because it's different. It's not the kind of meeting that you have with any owner or sport director. Luckily, my staff came with me. It was very difficult in the beginning, very, very difficult. New culture, really, the team was in I don't want to exaggerate, but it was in a difficult situation.
Yeah,
mentally. And then after 8 games, I think, or something like that, we made as a staff a very strong decision, changing the team, like 4 or 5 players from the started 11, because it was good and bad. And then after that decision, we went in an incredible run, 20, if I'm not wrong, 26 games without losing, which put us in an incredible situation. And then the objectives changed. Now it was not, the top 3 was not good enough in the league.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. And we were good to win the league and the cup. And then I see that with the club, I had an extra year contract. They understood my position. And luckily, we were able to agree, to leave the club at the highest level.
Yeah, that's like just before this, we started recording. You actually told me like this is one of the few times, if maybe the only time in his career he's actually left at the top, like with people wanting more. Like because what normally happens in football? Tell me, Gus. Like what happens?
Normally is you do well.
Yeah,
they give you a new contract.
Exactly.
And a few months later, you get sad because you are not doing well. That's the typical one. Except the top teams. I make an example, which is very simple. Me in Sunderland, my first season is so successful because we were really, really, really down and we got safe somehow. There is not too much explanation how we got safe. It was a miracle. And then we extended the contract for 2 years. And the next year, I was never in the bottom 3 and I was sacked. So you're thinking, wait a moment, we're coming from bottom for 32 games or 30 games, and now that we are not. So, but that's the problem, no? everybody wants more and more and more. So it's natural, we are used. And this is, like I said, the first time, and luckily that the club understood the situation, because I remember the sport director was, I'm not saying easy, but he understood from the first time. The CEO tried hard to hold me.
Of course.
But yes, it's nice as well, because I think the difference between living at the top and at the bottom is at the bottom, depending on the relationships, how you finish relationship.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, sometimes it's no problem. Sunderland, top.
Yeah.
I left in a top way.
Fantastic.
So my relation with Sunderland is for life now.
Yeah, that's great.
But with other clubs that you left, for example, Betis, no relationship whatsoever, zero, over. But here, Korea, is a relation for life.
Wow.
You know, my relation with Korean football now is for life, because I've been there 1 year and it was all success.
Wow. And what was it like, man, just in terms of Korea, the actual living there, the culture, the people? How did you find it, the actual country itself?
Well, first, the most incredible thing in Korea is the security. I won't say to you 99% is secure. I would say it's 100% secure.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I'm coming from South America, so I know about security. We know who is now Europe. We know in Europe, London,
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So to be in a country where you can live, this is true. You can go to a park,
Yeah.
sit down, relax a little bit. You leave your phone in the bench. You forget the phone. You go home. You go 2 hours later, the phone is there.
Wow. Wow. That says everything. That says it all.
I was scared after maybe a month or a month and a half living in there, because my first month is precision away from Korea in Thailand. But then when we went back, it was very, very cold, minus 10 degrees. It was very cold. And one day, like 6, 7 p.m., completely dark.
Yeah.
A young girl, she was probably 8 years old.
Wow.
7 p.m., dressed with a Taekwondo outfit,
Oh, nice.
with the phone, alone, into the building, jumping on the lift with me, zero problem. Okay? And you know, nowadays, this situation, I was more nervous
Yeah.
than a little girl.
Of course. Yeah, of
I
course.
was in the lift, turning around, looking against the wall, not even talking to the girl probably saw
Yeah.
apart from another planet, like looking at it.
Come on, bro. Exactly.
That's the feeling. Then I got used and I started talking to them, and the young people in there now, they speak English a lot more than the older.
Oh, great.
And we created like a band, bond with the girls in the evening. That hopefully is so many different. That's the confidence of the parents to be a very young girl, to be not only in the street but also in a lift with an adult without any issues.
Wow.
Show you how.
It's incredible. That's
Yeah.
that's beautiful. I wish all the other
Yes.
countries were like that, mate.
Exactly.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. And before this interview, I actually asked you on LinkedIn whether you use English in your work, right? And yeah, and you told me you communicated in English with the help of a Korean translator. Was that right?
Yeah, I tell you how we done it. We done it
Please.
in English.
Yeah.
It was a Korean. I have 2 translators.
Yeah, okay.
One for the conference,
Yep.
press conference.
Great.
It was because the problem with me, now, my answers very rarely are very short. I want to explain myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like to say, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's
I
it.
try to explain.
Great.
So the translator sometimes needed to translate a very, very, very long sentence or example for me. So I needed to be very good taking notes and explaining that.
Yeah.
Then on the football pitch, it's different. The football pitch is short, like stop, bang, message.
Exactly.
So I had a different one, which was like my shadows everywhere, okay? And yes, they were translating to Korean just in case something was lost. But look, I think we both learned a lot.
Yeah.
Meaning, they learn how I wanted to communicate, so they get adapted to my explanations.
Yeah.
But also, I learned not to use too many, the typical sentences that we get used in football, maybe in England, in South America.
Yeah.
People say, I remember example what I did,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
It was an action, it was so simple that I said in a meeting, boys, this, my mom, that is 84 years old, she can do it. You know what he did as later?
What did he do?
Literally.
He
And
literally.
they were looking at me thinking, can she do it?
He's- yeah. I mean, it's Gustavo Poyet. Maybe his mum really can do
Yeah.
this. You
So-
know? Shit.
So then I said, okay, I cannot use this anymore. So, like I said, they adapted to me, I adapted to them.
Mate, that is such a good answer because that actually leads perfectly into my next question, which is about culture. Because this is definitely a culture difference too, man. You've coached in, mate, you've coached in England, Spain, France, Chile, Greece, Korea. What is the biggest lesson you've learned about adapting to different football cultures? What is
Well,
it?
I think you need to open up yourself and ask questions in the beginning a lot.
Yeah.
No, you cannot be shy, and you cannot be focused on in your job. You need to really be really open. You know, go there and ask and find out and little things. You know, I always say to the clubs when I go abroad, I need someone from the club with me all the time. A coach, an assistant, whatever it is. People in football normally say to you, be careful. He's the eyes and the ears of the owner.
Of the owner, exactly.
Me, I say, I don't care. First,
Yeah.
the owner can come
Yeah.
and be in a meeting or anywhere where he like. He's the owner.
Exactly.
So I have nothing to hide,
Nothing to hide.
but I need that person to feel how important it is for me. Okay, so in the beginning, that's what I do. I ask questions, I pay attention, I listen, I try to adapt to what they do, and when it's something very extreme, explain it. Why not? Simple things. I'm gonna make it one very very simple one. A very important part of the nutrition of Korean people is pork.
Yeah.
Okay? And pork have a lot of fat.
Yeah.
A lot. Okay? So for a sportman, it's better if you don't. So what we did was, okay, we cannot control what you do at home,
Yeah.
but we can control what you eat at the training ground.
Exactly.
So if we take pork from the midday meal, at least 50%,
Exactly.
say,
Exactly.
but no to tell them you cannot eat pork anymore in your life
No.
because it's part of the culture.
Exactly.
Okay? So you need to like kind of adapt, and that's through information because you don't see too many Koreans overweight there.
Yeah, no, it's
But
true.
the idea is that now in football, every little percentage helps. So you try to make it a little bit better and a little bit better, you know, without exaggerating. So if we had a play that was 11.5 or 12 of fat, we say, okay, let's bring you down to 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to see how, when they get down to 10, how they embrace why they learn. So it's like a both ways adaptation or learning process. So, and that different cultures, different systems. Different there is a France.
Yeah.
France, the best part of France is the baguette, the pain au chocolat, the croissant.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. It's so true.
If you go past in the morning boulangerie that they call it, you're there.
Yeah, yeah, you have to stop. Yeah.
That's France.
Yeah.
You cannot go and say, okay, you cannot eat more baguettes or no more.
Yeah.
So, but let's not have it as training now.
That's it, dude.
You're gonna have it at home. So you kind of find out what is something that you can help, and in the place they find themselves better in 3 months, they will go, I like that, and they add it to their own culture. Okay, no extreme. So that is the kind of a both ways adaptation that you need.
I love that. I love the give and take there. You're not a dictator, but you're trying to manage the little percentages, which they make a difference, man, 100%. And like, when I was researching your career, Gus, and obviously I followed you with Chelsea a lot. I used to watch you playing with them. But one thing that stood out for me was your Copa America win with Uruguay in '95. That was amazing. And you recently said that winning with your country is the greatest feeling in football, man. Why is it different?
Look, I explain it this way, and I hope you will understand. People will understand.
Please.
when you win, for example, when I won a title with Chelsea, you got all the Chelsea fans, your very very close family, and maybe a few friends. That's it.
That's true.
Now, when you win with your country, I try to say is my whole family,
Yeah.
all my friends, my school, my neighborhood, my club where I used to play when I was little. The quantity of people that you make happy is so bigger
Wow.
that it make it special. Also because in Uruguay that we are so small, 3.5 million,
Yeah.
and we have a financial situation which is medium.
Yeah.
We are not a really rich country. We are not a terrible poor country. We are normal, average.
Average.
But that day, when you win, there is no problems. There is no financial problems. There is no personal issues. There is no. That day, the country stops and celebrates. Okay, and you don't realize you know that, but when you see it, is confirmation of how many people you can make happy. And I was lucky to be there in '95. And what I was that night and the following day is impossible to explain.
Mate, that is so beautiful. And I've just made a note here, like giving happiness to so many people must be just the best feeling in the world, man. That's amazing. Oh wow. You played in a Chelsea team full of huge personalities and top players. What made that dressing room so special?
Well, first, the what you say, characters,
Yeah.
personalities,
Yeah.
quality, enormous quality, but also we understood that we needed to follow a leader, like any international. We were different kind of strong characters, but there is someone always that you need to have in as a main leader. Obviously, when he's not there, the other one needs to stand up.
Of course.
And it was a key moment. Look, it's very important. I think it was the first or the second season I was at Chelsea. We were like 17 different nationalities.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So it was a problem. Also the communication.
Exactly.
Okay. But it was one day that I won't say names, so they no, but it was not, because it was nothing bad, but people take it.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
I will tell you because at halftime we stopped, and if I don't remember badly, Marcel Desailly and Didier Deschamps, they were talking on French in the tunnel, going back to the restaurant, and in the middle of the sentences, the word Dennis, or Dennis Wise,
That's wise, of course.
and Wisey heard Dennis, but didn't understand
Of course, the context or the words. Yeah.
and then it was very direct. Okay, Wisey, very direct.
Of course.
Crazy. Okay, so it went a little bit crazy. What are you talking about?
What'd you say? Yeah. What'd you say about me? Yeah.
Nothing happened. We played second half. We won nothing.
Yeah.
Monday morning training meeting, and we go there. Normal, you get the Monday morning happy you won on Saturday, day off on Sunday. Meeting, and you say what happened? Meeting. Then he was, and he told us, from today, when you pass the gate of the training ground, and until you leave the days of the training ground, English. No more French, no more Italian. No, I don't care that you're sitting together. I don't want to hear two people talking in a different language. That you will do anyway.
Yeah,
no, difficult job, but it makes us stronger. We go together. You understand? Maybe it was a little bit of naturally, little groups because of the language.
Of course.
And that decision of the leader brought us together. And we started going out together with the partners and their girlfriends and and wives. I remember one night we went to the theater, 24 players, 25 4 partners, and then dinner, which I never done in my life. I done it only the players.
Yeah.
With the wives and the partners. We went London, Lion King, and then Deer. I remember because I went to see Lion King with my kids 10 days before.
Yeah.
And when they told me, we're going Lion King, I said, I went last week. I see you at dinner.
Yeah.
They said to me, no, you're coming.
You have to come.
I said, but listen, I went 10 days ago.
Not again.
It doesn't matter. You're coming. Well.
Wow.
I went Lion King twice. But he brought us together.
That's so good.
That little decision from Dennis Wise. And when you are together, you are a better team.
Mate,
He make you win. He make you. It's like a feeling that you are playing with a friend next to you, and that make you, closer and closer.
man, that is a fantastic anecdote, man. I love that. And I'm just wondering because, like, English, man, I have to admit, English is not an easy language to learn. Okay. I'm going to say this. It's not easy. And like for a lot of people, especially, man, the pronunciation is crazy. So, were there some players in that Chelsea room when that decision was made were like, oh man, how am I going to learn English? Like, like whether
It was a problem.
and how did you?
Me, I was lucky because I got injured the first season. Because of my injury, I have time to adapt and to learn. So when I came back from the injury, I was in a much better position to perform.
Great.
Now, obviously, you don't want everyone to get injured. No, your season, no.
Of course.
But what I mean is, and I remember because the person who helped me the most, Terry Byrne, who was my sir at the time at Chelsea, we were staying all afternoon together alone, and we were going to a swimming pool. At that time, the training ground Chelsea was not common like today.
Yeah.
We were going to a hotel nearby, and I was trying to speak, and one day he said to me, "Guys, can I, like correct or tell you the right way?" And I say, "Of course, please." No, please, because me, I was trying. Say no, because we don't say this, we say this. Okay, and that it gets in because you are not studying at home and then speaking in Spanish all day.
Exactly.
You were there, so you won't like, with all respect to everybody, my English teacher.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's what I mean. So when I came back, I was able to watch training, to watch games, and to communicate better. But I'm telling you, it's so important. Sometimes, because maybe your contract is short,
Yeah.
we don't pay attention to that. And me, for example, I have a big regrets. I was in Greece for 7-8 months. My first time, no time. My second time, I was 2 years. And I didn't learn the Greek. And that's a problem. And I was a little bit lazy because I remember saying to people, if I renew, I promise you, I will learn Greek. But that was a lazy taking, like if next year I renew, well, if you go 1 year.
Exactly. Why not now?
Okay,
Dude, I understand.
And Greek, that's a difficult one.
Mate.
I learned to read in capital letters in Greek, but because they changed the capital and the letter one, and then I stopped.
Gus, if it makes you feel better, I tried learning Greek about a year ago. I started, it was so difficult, and I just said, you know what? In the future, I'll come back to Greek in the future. So, mate, you're right. Oh, I'd love to ask you something about at the beginning of this conversation, man. You were talking about the fact you've come into Jeonbuk and they were going through a rough time. The mentality was down. Same with Sunderland. When you went in there, they were going through you came into a group of players that were a bit down. How did you because there are a lot of coaches listening to this, and maybe they're coming into teams in that situation. How do you turn that around? How can you change a player's mentality? Like, where do you start?
Yes, me first. This is naturally. This I didn't plan it. Okay, my way of dealing with a group of players is when we train and at the training ground, I'm in charge.
Yeah,
non-negotiable. Okay, I'm in charge, and you are, a player. I'm the coach. Yeah. Now, outside the training ground or out the hours of the training, we are people. And you have a life, I have a life, you like other things, you have a family. So in the beginning for the players, it's a little bit of a shock because when they see you in town, they go, "Oh, coach, Gaffa." I say, whoa, stop. I'm not the coach now.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow morning, yes, I'm the coach. But now 5 o'clock in town, I'm gas and you are whatever. Do it. Exactly. And the players in the beginning, they go like, But then they understand that there is a professional football player and the person. That's one part. The other part is try to convince the players, this is very interesting, to do what they do best and not only what the manager asks them to do. Example.
Yeah, please.
You try to convince the team not to lose the ball cheaply, You don't lose the ball. Don't get the ball and make a bad hit. Don't lose the ball. Exactly. But then you have a player that he needs to take risk. initially the ball and dribble. Okay? So not losing the ball doesn't mean that he doesn't dribble. Because he knows he doesn't do what he does best.
Exactly.
So you need to convince them, okay, here, don't lose the ball, but when you are in this position, the ability is dribble, and you need to dribble. So try to make them convince that it's not only the organization of the coach, it's to do what they do best.
Wow. That's really good. That is so good, man, because I've seen this happen so many times. The coach says they take it so literally. Yes. They don't express themselves. They don't play anymore. And this is, we've seen this. So many players do that. That's a great like distinction you just made there. That was fantastic. And the other thing I love, man, that I haven't had this experience in my career, man, but I would have loved that. A coach to really make it clear that off the field, he's a person, I'm a person, we're the same, but on the field, he's this professional, because the things he would tell me on the training ground, I would not take so personally. This is Gus, the coach, telling me this, not, this is
But
not, you know.
That's the situation that you create with time. Okay? Because we had players in Korea that when we arrived, I had all these meetings to find out about the individuals.
Yeah.
And they told us, okay, this play that, this play that, this play that. Okay, I take notes, but then it's me. Because you telling me with the previous coaches, not with me. Let's see how we develop that, okay? And then you get to probably situations where it's very good for the coach. I remember one player, it was 6 months, finishing contract. And I call him and I talk to him and, okay, you are 6 months, we need to start talking about your contract, blah, blah, I would like you to stay here. At that time, I was expecting to stay, blah, blah, blah. And he let me talk.
Yeah.
And then when I finished, okay, and then he said to me, are you staying? And I went like, well, I suppose, he said, well, when you are sure, you let me know, then we talk about your contract.
Oh, wow.
Kind of meaning, if you're staying,
Yeah.
maybe I'm staying. If you're not staying,
If you're not staying, I'm not staying. Exactly.
So I went like, oh, so you try to go with a, I don't know, with a plan to convince him to stay, but because I'm not gonna lie, he came.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
after that,
Checkmate.
we went in a good run there. You went in a good run.
Yeah, that's great.
And every time we won, but every 2 or 3 weeks, I would say to him, so, contract? And he would say to me, are you staying?
Are you staying? Exactly.
And I was thinking, oh my God. And the closer we were getting, thinking, I didn't stay. He didn't stay.
Wow.
He did.
Wow.
So that kind of relationship make you feel that, like he was looking at his family. But he called me after for advice. I tried to say to him, listen, the decision is yours.
Yeah, of course.
I give you my opinion, but don't make the decision because of me.
Yeah.
I'm not there, okay?
100%.
And why? Because there is a professional, but he's a person.
Exactly.
And that helped me a lot. Listen, this is me, my assistant coach, Tarico, no chance. Tarico is 100% coach. Yeah, because he's very, so we are different. And I didn't plan this. It's me.
Wow.
It's something that I have it. Maybe because my first experience in football in Europe, in France, it was tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. Very tough. Maybe I knew what I needed. I needed more from the club. I needed more from the coach to look after me as a person, not as a football player.
Yeah.
Maybe my loneliness, I was alone, I didn't speak French, all those things didn't allow me to perform in the best level, So what I learned from there, after everything was easy. Spain was easy, language obviously. England was easy for me, the adaptation as well. And then all these countries, like you said, with the experience of the beginning, it's a little bit easier for me.
Mate, that experience in France, I think that really shaped you, man?
You know what I say to people?
Tell me.
They say to me, oh, you play in France? No. I was in France. With me, I didn't play because I was rubbish, okay? I was in France a year and a half.
Wow. And why do you think, I think I know, you were alone, you didn't have your family, you didn't have these things. Was your motivation or your confidence really low? Was there any other factors for you?
Look, I was coming from Uruguay. In Uruguay, the dressing room is amazing. We spend a lot of time in the dressing room in Uruguay. And I flew to France. And for example, they gave me my first car. I didn't have a car in Uruguay.
Wow.
And I went to the training on the first day, and I went very early, and there was no one there. And I was sitting there, and okay, I didn't speak French, so bonjour, and there. And then finished training. I mean, super relaxed, standing on the pitch, stretching or playing with a ball, and then going to the restaurant, and 80% of the players, they were gone. It was in, training, shower, gone. We were not eating at the training at that time. We're talking about eating day. And me, it was midday, and I had nothing to do until tomorrow morning
Oh,
at the training ground.
oh, mate. In a country where you don't speak the language and,
No
you know,
internet,
no friends there. Yeah, no internet.
internet,
Wow.
nothing. So I
What
was
did you
going
do?
to the flat,
Yeah.
my flat, and I was sitting there like,
Now what?
at that time, I was not a guy like to read. We didn't have the phone.
Oh, my
We didn't-
God.
So it was like, I tell you, nothing. The only thing I had 3 weeks a week, 3 days a week, it was French lessons. Okay, that was my way out. The rest of the day, then I never liked it to cook, so I didn't cook at that time. I don't cook now, but so it was no things to spend time, as you can say. So it started getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then to perform, you think is just go and play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You're a
No.
different person on the field. You switch
I mean,
on and bang.
I used to call my family once a week because the phone was so expensive at that time. I remember my friends in Uruguay from school, they will record a cassette. You remember the cassette?
Yeah, dude, of course. Yeah.
They will send me once a month. And when that cassette arrived, listen, when that cassette arrived, it was the happiest day of my life.
Best. Yeah.
Sit down, put it
100%.
on, click play, and it was like the best hour of my life.
Wow, man.
Now, that's why I think I didn't perform. I was not having a normal life. I didn't have anything around. So I tried that not to happen to the players, and especially the foreigners. Whatever you are, you're a foreigner, you are in your own.
Exactly.
How's your wife? How's your kids? What you doing that afternoon, right? So, and that the players, they embrace it because they are human beings. We are all human.
Mate, that is so beautiful, man. I love that. I can see now why you have this perspective as a coach and why you're so empathetic to players in this situation, man. That's beautiful, man. I love that. Thank you so much, man. You've worked with world-class players, obviously, managed national teams, coached across multiple continents. What do great leaders in football do differently? And could you maybe also give me an example of one of the best coaches you've had and something that they did for you, man?
I think the best players, they maintain a level of consistency every day. For example, for me, the best player I coach, okay, I was not the main coach, but
Yeah.
I was part of the staff.
Yeah.
It was Tottenham when we had a Modric, okay,
wow.
Luka Modric.
Yeah.
If you see Luka Modric every day, it was every day here.
Wow.
For that why it's so different. That's why I play Real Madrid so many years. Others are maybe they are not close in terms of quality, but they have the up and downs because they cannot maintain that level. Yeah, okay. So they are more consistent. They are more like they are always the high level, and they look after themselves in an incredible way. And that's the difference between what I call the top players and the good players. Because they are very good players, but the top they are in a different level. Me, the coaches, I took many things from everyone. I didn't have the perfect coach that I will say, oh, he was a man.
Yeah, it's the number one. No.
But also what I learned a lot at the end of my career is to learn what not to do.
Yes. Yeah, I can see in France, for example, that was a big lesson, what not to do. Exactly.
What not to do. Okay. And that helped me a lot because sometimes we think, and you will understand this, that we know something, but until you don't live it, you don't.
And being a father is a perfect example.
Yeah. You know what people say to you? Oh, yeah, you need to do this with your kid, but you don't have kids.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So, well, this is the same. So me, I
Yeah.
remember being at Chelsea, and when Gianluca Vialli, rest in peace, he went from sitting next to me to be a manager.
Yeah. And player manager too at one stage.
Player
Yeah, player manager.
So that day, I said, can this happen to me? I'm not ready. I was not ready.
No.
Okay, I was 31 years old. I was so. I remember a few weeks later, we done a session that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I went home and wrote it down. Do not, like, no, ever.
Never do this session. Love it.
Because I remember, Luca was crazy because we were not talking a lot on the pitch before passing the ball,
Yeah.
and also we were not making like a movement to go one way to receive the ball.
Yeah.
And he was so upset with that. One day he came and said, okay, warm up. And after the warm up, he put us in certain places and said, we're going to do this for 20 minutes. He goes, yeah, not doing it. But it was a horrible day. Rain, wind, London. Okay?
Oh yeah. Typical.
And we were like,
Oh,
and I don't remember saying to Luca in kind of Italian area, Luca, that's there.
yeah.
Today, Luca, today.
Today, like naughty school children with the.
I went home and I said, you don't know, technique in a rainy wind. No, impossible. Okay.
Oh mate, that's so good.
That
like
kind of thing. So from every coach, I got something.
That's so good. That is so good. Gus, we're almost finished. I just wanted some advice to all the coaches who are listening to this right now who want to build a career in football. What advice would you give them, man?
If they are very young
Mm.
and they still not working as a main coach, I would recommend them to be assistant.
Yeah, that's a great.
And I tell you why. That was, for me, it was for my character as well. It was spectacular. I worked with Danny White first, and then with Juan de Ramos at Tottenham.
Wow.
You are in, you see everything, but you don't make decisions. The boss makes decisions. So if you pay attention and you get the information saying, for example, okay, the coach made this decision, how the player reacted, positive way, different. And then you, with your own personality, you can take that experience to take it. And I'm going to tell you another story which you realize.
Please.
I pushed a player in Tottenham to go and talk to the coach because he was a little bit upset. Okay? And I said, talk to him. Come on, I help you. You know? And it was a wrong decision. Because my decision.
Yeah.
He went to talk to the coach. He didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And after I came out of the room and I said, sorry, my mistake.
Oh, jeez.
Okay? But that happened to me.
Yeah.
Being a main coach.
Exactly.
Oh, it was things that you need to be there. I don't know. I can tell you 100. For example, Juan de once sent me to say to a player, a very important player, he was not on the squad.
Oh, wow.
I hate it.
Ooh.
What are you going to do it?
Yeah.
So I went and I said to them, and the player started, like going crazy with me.
Yeah.
And I was saying,
I'm the messenger. There. Yeah. Come on.
okay, so I never send my assistant to tell a player he's not in the squad. I do it.
Dude, 100%. 100% agree with
And
that.
that I learned it because I was an assistant. If you are not, maybe you go there and your first job, and you're gonna take a difficult player out of the team, and you go, I'm not telling him. You said to your assistant, go and tell him.
Exactly.
No, you go. You are the coach. I would lie if I was a player.
Yes.
So that kind of situation, for me, it was outstanding, the learning of those 2 or 3 years under Danny White and Juan de Ramos. Spectacular.
Wow.
That my advice, if they can.
Yes.
The one they are good enough to be number one from the first day, fair enough. I was not, and it helped me a lot. Okay.
That's so good, mate. The great advice. And before we finish, Gus, every guest now nominates another Spanish-speaking coach who has worked internationally or used English in football environments. Would you like to nominate any coach like this to come onto the podcast in the future? Can you think of any?
Spanish, yes, I have many. I don't know too many of you done already.
Yeah, let me know.
But why you don't try somebody from Uruguay, but a coach in Uruguay?
Yeah. Who?
Like, you're gonna Disney. I'm gonna give you two. One big one.
Yeah.
Diego Forlan.
Oh,
Is that Diego Forlan?
No, I'd love to get Diego. I'd love to get him. I don't have his contacts. You'll have to share it with me.
No, I think the problem, the good thing with Diego Forlan is that he's so big
Yeah.
that he decided to coach in Uruguay.
Yeah.
That obviously for him is like it was something that I don't have, that kind of feeling of being in Uruguay, coaching Uruguayans.
Yeah, very patriotic.
And if not,
Yeah.
let me think someone from Spain. No, because they're coming on the big name. I don't want the big name. I want someone maybe he can talk in a different way.
It's fine. And if you like, you can write it to me later, man. You don't even have to tell me now.
I'll write it because maybe someone he coaches in many places as well. Javi Gracia. Javi Gracia was in Watford. He went abroad. He went to Qatar and then came back. He was in Valencia as well in Spain.
Yes.
And he went back to Watford. I didn't have that yet. And I would like to listen to people who has been in a club and went back to the same club later.
Mate.
Because they ask me sometimes, will you go back? Yeah. But then, when it's coming the opportunity, you go, should I? Like...
Oh, man. For me, every time I've returned, it's always been a bad decision to return to the old club.
That's what I mean. Sometimes because you talk to them with the feelings that you have when you were there.
Exactly.
You want to go back.
Exactly. That's right.
Wrong.
You said it's wrong, and then you sort of tarnish that memory, the reputation you had. Like, yeah, it's terrible. Mate, I'm gonna get both those guys. I'm gonna get Diego Forlan. I'm gonna get Javi Gracia, and I'm gonna ask him that question for you, Gus, and I'm gonna share with that episode. Gus, mate, this has been such a fantastic conversation, mate. We've covered leadership, international football, communication, adaptation. Great stories, man. Winning trophies, what it takes to succeed across different cultures. Thank you, mate, so much for joining me today. You're a legend.
It's a pleasure. I hope people will enjoy it.
Oh, they will, mate. They will. Trust me. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Please share the episode with any people that are interested in football or just life lessons. And I will see you in the next episode of From Football to Football, guys. Bye for now.